So we're going to do an advanced perspective piece here. I have the idea, this is the rocking horse we're going to try to do from the side view and the front view. So we can see there'll be a cylinder and another cylinder. So it'll just be like an upright. These will be, I think, more like maybe triangular, maybe coming out this way, that we can talk about the idea of a triangle. And then we're going to have these rocking pieces. I did a quick kind of sketch for myself so I know what we're talking about. So I've set up a horizon line. I've got my two vanishing points, the left one and the right one. Um, and we are going to start by laying out the idea of a box. Okay? Remember that all our vertical lines are still going to remain vertical, right? Anything horizontal goes to the vanishing points. So I'm going to do a pretty big one for myself. This is going to be the whole thing. That way I kind of know that the whole thing will kind of fall into this. So remember all of these lines going to the vanishing points. I'll make sure I can see what I'm doing here. I'm sitting down. I want to make sure I can see. Okay. So that's the basic parts here. I know I'm going to start with the main body's cylinder. All right. So I would like that to be about here. You'll be able to see that. It is super important to use your straight edge. Again, it doesn't have to be a ruler, but it has to be straight. You need to be using it. You cannot just sort of wing this. All right, so that's where that's going to be. I'm going to stop that there. And again, find out the rest of that. Now, I'm going to need a clear box for this so that I can see where all of it goes. We'll end it, say, there. All right. Bring those across. Then right there. All right. So here's the front. There's the back. Circles there to make my cylinder. We're going to make an X from corner to corner. Define the middle. All right, there we have it. This will become my circle there. I'll do that in a moment. And another X on the back end. Now, if you want to know more about how to make those circles, I already have shared a video with you on that. So you can go back and look at that again if you need to. All right. And the basic idea here is to go to the furthest edges of those. You'll be able to start to see this cylinder here at this point. I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible. Feel free to slow it down, take your time, pause it, whatever you need to do. All right, next step. I'm going to work on the bottom first, so we'll work on the top at the end. So I know that I want a sort of triangular space here. So we're going to figure out where that ends first. We'll say it ends there. All right. lines there. Again, we'll bring our lines down. That's why we made this fully filling out that whole box, so we can keep all of those pieces of information. I'm erasing as much as I can for you guys, but I generally don't erase anything till the end. Okay, so these are my points. This little box here. I know this is my middle. I found that out before. So you want to use your straight edge, and do you see how that's now a triangle here? Okay. We'll do the same back here. You have a triangle back there. Now, we want legs there, right? So let's just figure out, we'll just make those thicker. And to keep this simple, we'll keep them way at the front and the back, which would not be honestly how we would do a real one, but you know, we want this to be not too insane. All right, so now I'm going to want rockers underneath this. So let's extend that line down again that we had. All right, we're going to make the box the bottom. Okay, so there's my box down here. We've got, see that whole box here? And we want our rocker that's going to go in here. So I want the middle again. So I've made my X and go straight down from there. That's the very middle. Now you can see, like if I use my ruler, this doesn't measure as the middle, right? It's different than that. We're not looking at measurements. Look, that's why you use X's to find the middle of things. All right, I'll do the back end as well. I brought this line down here. Now, I also could just go and take this middle point that I found here. Using my vanishing point as a marker, I come straight across. It should line up, and if it's not, see, something's wrong. So let's find out what's wrong. Ah, I see. This was not quite straight. So that will take that off slightly. Yep, then it comes up here. This one was also not quite straight. So T-squares are great. Otherwise, use the edge of your paper with the edge of your ruler. Here's my midpoint on both. I want to make a rocker that goes from edge to edge. And I'll do the same back here. So this is sort of like a partial circle, right? Now I can see, and I'm sure some of you are going to say, well, that's not a regular rocker, like that would never work. Yeah, well, you know, we learn from our mistakes, right? The next time maybe I would make it a little bit shorter here. But you can see this rocking point here. The same would be over on this side. All right, so we've got a rocker. We've got a base. We need to put a neck on next. So I'm going to arbitrarily say that I want my neck to come back to there. We're going to bring it up. I want to bring it pretty high so my next piece is above the horizon line. And I'm going to make, there we go. That's a nice shape there. We'll use that. It's not quite a triangle. All right. And then we're going to make our box here. So I'm just going to figure out about how much smaller I want that head to be than the body. And then we're going to make sure that that head rests on that little neck that I made. So I'm using the point of that neck as sort of my fulcrum there. So that's where that's going to be. And then we'll make the top of the head there. So you see this box? That'll be the front. In here, I want to put a head on top. I know I want this to be about here, but I need to move it forward. Okay, so we're just gonna do, I already did these and erased them. About here would be where the sides are. I want to use the neck as sort of a fulcrum for my vanishing point to make sure that it is on the right level. What I'm going to do is actually kind of push that both backward and forward. So there's the middle of it, so I have it in the right spot. And then I can decide where it begins and ends from there. All right, so this is this side of my head. Let's see, I think, let's have it come out way out here, and we'll bring it back to about, I think that's good. Just a little bit behind where that neck is. All right, so this box right here would be the side of its head. All right, and this is going to be where the front will lie. Now, I know I want it to be that wide, so let's use, again, that piece of information we made before. So the back end of it. Connects there, so that's where the front of the head will be. All right. Do we need that? Yes, we're going to need some information in the back end too. Now you'll notice that since this is so close to the horizon line, a lot of those lines are going to meet up pretty easily. I'm going to make my X on the front face here. I'm going to use, again, my horizontals all need to go to the vanishing points. All right, there's the front of my face. Again, we use our vanishing point for horizontals. All right. There's the basics. I'm going to now go back and outline that so you can see it really well. Hopefully this sort of makes more sense now. I'll get rid of all those extra lines. We've got something that resembles a rocking horse, in idea at least. We can go maybe add an eye on him. There we go. Now, maybe someone could ride him. So there you go. There's a sort of idea of how you can use perspective to make a physical object. We've got a lot of curves here. So perspective does not have to only be super straight lines. Curves are doable. All right, good luck with yours.